Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Venus in Capricorn, and to have a good understanding of what that's about, you need to firstly understand what Venus is all about and what the Capricorn energy is all about. So Venus, this is the planet of love and beauty, peace and harmony. She has a very lustful energy. She is a nocturnal planet. It's also a relationship indicator and a money indicator. And Venus also represents how we relate to other people. Now Capricorn represents the 10th house in a birth chart, and it's the cardinal feminine earth sign that's ruled by Saturn. And Capricorn is very much about their business, they're about their status, their public image, their reputation. And then you've got Saturn. Saturn, this is the planet of boundaries, limits and restrictions. It's a cold, dry planet. It represents the boundary that we can see of planets in the sky with our naked eye. It's the skin, it's just the boundaries. It's where the buck stops with Saturn. Now, it's not the most lovey-dovey energy for Venus to be in, of course, being a Saturn-ruled sign, but we're going to still talk through all the traits and kind of what you guys need and value in relationships. Now, house placements are important here. They really do matter, guys. What house does your Venus fall in? And aspects. Aspects are super important to consider. A Venus conjunct Jupiter is going to be a very different story to Venus square Saturn. And if you are a Capricorn Venus, then you're going to be one of 5 sun signs. So you're either going to be a Sagittarius sun, a Capricorn sun, an Aquarius sun, a Pisces sun, or a Scorpio sun. I should have said that first, but we're saying it last. But let's get into it. Let's have a look. What would somebody with a Venus in Capricorn value in this lifetime? Their time. They value their time very much. Venus in Capricorn is aware of their time. Time is money to these people. They're aware of being stable, stability, having stability somewhere in their life, particularly in the area of relationships and financial matters. This is where they want real stability. They value being practical and logical. They value being able to problem solve and work things out and find a practical solution forwards with something. Their career goals, their ambition, just the general life direction in what they're going in, they're concerned about that. This is literally the definition of somebody that knows the value of hard work. It's a hard-working Venus sign, and they like to reap the pleasures of their hard work and reap the rewards that come with all the efforts that they put into to be a consistent and stable worker. Like, there's a side to people with Venus and Capricorn that believes in being stable and consistent. They would value being serious and just being dedicated and committed to something. Whatever that might be, they just want to be committed to something. It's also part of the parental axis, so they value family, they value traditions. You know, there are certain things that they like to uphold and continue on from what they were taught and pass on to their own children. These are people that really love a POA, they love a plan of action, some structure. But when it comes to matters of love, you know, this is a more serious area of life for you. It's not a place where you play games and where you just want to serially date people, and just, it's not about that. You're looking for somebody who is really here for the long-term commitment, because that's something you value. You want to be committed to somebody for a long time and grow old, that old type of love. Now, money is going to be another thing that you value. I will talk about this later on in the video, because Venus and Caps do get a bit of a hard time, being called gold diggers, etc. But we'll break down why. Well, not why you're a gold digger, that is not what I'm saying, even though that sounded like what I was saying. But I will break that down in a way that I feel is a better way to express how a Venus and Capricorn is when it comes to their money. And basically, this is somebody that's just going to have values in general. They're just going to have their values non-stop, and they value having values, having morals, having standards. Let's have a look at all the different ingredients that basically make up this recipe of this Venus sign. So it's a cardinal Venus, meaning it's got initiative. You people have got initiative. You can be creative. You can get things started, get things moving off the ground. Let's not forget Mars exalts in the sign of Capricorn. So this is someone that can get things going. It's also a feminine Venus sign, which means that you can have a more introverted side to you, basically a more sensitive side, where the feminine energy is a receiving energy And it's also an Earth Venus. So Earth is about being practical, being grounded, building on stability, basically. Things need to make logical sense when it comes to Earth. Now, the bigger picture to all of this is, where is Saturn in your chart, guys? Because Saturn is, of course, the ruler of Capricorn and is going to be hosting Venus sitting here in this sign. So where is Saturn in your chart? How is it aspected? Because that's going to be quite important, really, for you guys to keep in mind. And Capricorn, it's also the goat, isn't it? The symbol is represented by the goat climbing to the top of a mountain. So overall, there's some of the things we've described quite so far. We can see this is somebody that's quite serious when it comes to matters of the heart and matters of money. Let's have a look now what a Venus and Capricorn is going to be like in terms of relationships and sort of how they relate to people. And of course, guys, disclaimer, Venus is not the only thing you should be looking at to get an idea on your relationships. There's a much bigger picture that goes on in your chart. What's going on in your 5th house, your 7th house, your 8th house. Where are the rulers of those signs? How are they aspected? There's a bigger picture here. But for the purposes of this video, we will focus on Venus and Capricorn in terms of relationships and how they relate to people. Because, of course, Venus is how we relate to people. And Venus and Capricorn is not what I would describe as the most friendliest Venus sign out of the 12. A little bit more standoffish because they have a more serious and reserved and cautious side to them, and there's a level of being a little bit cold and detached that can also come with this Venus sign, because this is a Saturn influenced Venus sign. And so when it comes to actually relating with other people, they like to relate to people through their standards, through their morals. They like to see that somebody's got responsibility and they understand what having responsibility sort of looks like, basically. They could also relate to people through their reputation or through how people's ambitions are, ambition levels. Like, they will understand and speak the same language as somebody who's on a path to be better and to succeed. When it comes to relationships, this isn't necessarily the most relationship oriented person, because they can be quite cautious when it comes to love and quite serious in this area. So they approach with caution, they have patience. They'll look at relationships and be like, does this make sense? Does this financially make sense? Can they actually fit in day to day? Like, is it practical? Is it logical? They will ask these types of questions first. Although I'm saying that, my best mate is a Venus in Capricorn. She's also a Scorpio sun, but she's got Jupiter in her 7th house, so it changes things. So she's very much so a relationship oriented person. Most of her adult life has been in relationships with people. So obviously, guys, it depends on the chart as a whole, but if we focus on just Venus in Cap archetype, it is someone that's going to take their time to really build a relationship. And if they actually are in a relationship, they'll be quite ambitious. They'll have a timeline of events of how they want things to be. They're going to know sort of when they want to get married, when they want to move in, when they want to buy a house, things sort of like that. And they're just going to have a view of accomplishing things together, because if they're with you, they're really going to be with you and committed. What sort of things do they bring to a relationship? I mean, this is somebody that's already going to have thought of a 5, 10 year, 15 year plan for the relationship, because there's a side of them that's very structured and organised. You can put people to shame with your levels of organisation, basically, because you're a very reliable person. Usually Venus and Capricorn people are very reliable people, especially in relationships, committed relationships that they're in. They will go through sickness and health. They'll go through thick and thin. They will stay with you. It's very much a ride or die energy here, and they will show you their love through their actions. This is the cardinal Earth Venus. They might not be all expressing lovey-dovey things to you all day, but they'll show you with their actions that they love you. They'll show up and they will be there for you, because this is somebody concerned with durability, having a long lasting relationship that can stand the test of time. Saturn, this is what they want. They want a relationship that can stand the test of time and basically take their relationship in a clear direction. Love is a bit like a business to Venus in Capricorn. They kind of have this approach of a more business or contractual view of a relationship. Like, this is very adult vibes here. It's very grown up type of love that we're talking about, and it should be here, because growing up, and for those of you out there that might have jobs and families and homes and are running all those types of things, it's a lot of work. So you need somebody that understands to be responsible, that understands working hard, that can have a serious nature, someone that understands having boundaries in a relationship. Boundaries should be part of a relationship. There should be clear guidelines of, I'm Venus in Scorpio, guys, so I love a good guideline in a relationship, but relationships, there should be guidelines and boundaries of expectations to avoid hurt. Relationships should be able to stand the test of time. Saturn, Venus should be able to stand the test of time, and you should be able to find a partner that's here for longevity and for stability, not someone that's here for a good time, not a long time. That is not what you guys want. You want someone that's here for a long time. And I'm saying all this as well because for the people that might just be watching because you're trying to get to know somebody with this Venus sign, you need to be a serious contender to come into this person's life. If you're the type of person that's not serious and non-committal and you just want to have a laugh, leave Venus and Cap people alone. They're not going to be for you. It's not what they want, and they make such a good partner. So if you're that way inclined, this might not be the person for you, basically. And the other thing I would also say is don't approach these people like being all super sexual, especially in public. No, these people, they're sophisticated. There's a level of sophisticated vibes that come with them. So you need to be kind of like smooth and have a bit of class and decorum if you want to approach them and talk to them. There's also a bit of a bossy side to Venus and Capricorns. They kind of do like telling people what to do, and particularly because we've got Venus here, which is a money indicator in Capricorn, big boss CEO energy. You might literally be the boss or CEO of something. You could be listening to me thinking, I don't think I'm the boss. I am the boss. Thank you. A little bit of a control freak, but they kind of like to have their ducks in a row, and they are building brick by brick. So they might have seemingly strict love, basically. They might seem a bit strict when it comes to love, but it's just because it's serious business to them. Love is money, time is money to Venus and Capricorn. Now, although a lot of the things I've said so far are quite serious, there is, of course, a softer side that exists within Venus and Capricorn. Not that you'll ever know that straight away if you meet them, but there is a softer side that exists because this is actually part of the family axis, isn't it? The opposite side is Cancer to Capricorn, and we can learn something from our opposite energy. Love to a Venus in Capricorn is when they can actually just relax and switch off and just chill with you, because they're usually quite busy people. They're always on task, they're always on job, they're always got something to do. So that there is this side of them that does have this level of vulnerability. They just don't like to show it. But when they find someone that they're comfortable with, that they can actually just be like, bruh, and, you know, let somebody sometimes carry the weight of the relationship on their shoulders, so it's not always you, because Venus and Capricorn will carry the weight of things most of the time because it's a very strong sign. But they are looking and craving really deep down to kind of grow old with somebody and find that old traditional type of love. Cancer also shows us to kind of loosen up a little bit and to be a little bit vulnerable and be a little bit less strict and a little bit less rigid, because, as I just said, there's this vulnerable side to you and a craving to find that old true love and safety, and you want to be affectionate and intimate with somebody and be able to be vulnerable, but it's finding that right person you guess that you can trust. But as we know, guys, things can get better with time. Saturn, wine gets better with time. So sometimes you guys might need to just loosen up a little bit in order to let love in. A couple of quick disclaimers, guys. Of course, you've got to look at your chart as a whole, because your Venus sign will play out differently depending on what's happening in your chart and how it's aspected as a whole. And things like the sun sign are going to differentiate the different expressions of Venus in Capricorn. And I'm going to do my next video that I upload will be the breakdown videos of each of the sun signs with Venus in Capricorn. And also my other disclaimer is you could be part of the Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn generation of people. Neptune stays in a sign for 14 years, Uranus stays there for 7 years. So there's so many people, and a lot of the people in the age range of my audience that watch my channel are going to have this in Capricorn. So keep that in mind. If it is conjunctural Venus, it's going to radically change things. And of course, Guys, if you're liking my content so far, please consider subscribing. Saturn is very much about traditions and appreciating and valuing traditions. So there's going to be a side of you that does have a traditional side and values traditions. And no, I'm not talking about specifically same-sex marriages and things like that. We're in 2023. Times have moved on, of course, with Aquarius. Forces things to move on, doesn't it? So... but I'm just talking about the sense there's going to be a side of you that is going to appreciate having traditional values and structures around you and being devoted in every way. That's the type of love that you want. It's a kind of timeless love, because in a relationship you will face Saturn. You will be tested. You will be challenged to have a lifelong relationship with somebody. The amount of things you're going to have to go through when you're raising a family with somebody, even working in a business with somebody, you're going to be challenged. Now, Venus in Capricorn knows about this. They understand that relationships aren't all la-di-da, and that it takes some real hard work, and they're the type of person who will be there, as I said, through sickness, through health, come rain, come shine, it doesn't matter. They're going to be there, they're going to be devoted, they're going to be committed. That's what they need back. They need that immovable, committed force that they can rely on too. Quality over quantity is probably a catchphrase you could put to this Venus sign, because as I said, they're very sophisticated, they're elegant. There's a, you know, more grown-up vibe basically that comes with this type of person. And they have, in terms of aesthetics, more of an appreciation for the aesthetic, classic, timeless style look. You know, they don't want to be decorating their house every 2 years. They want something that they can do that looks lovely, fabulous, buy cheap, buy twice. These people understand that concept. Now, let's talk about money, because this is an important factor to consider with this Venus sign. It's, of course, an Earth Venus. All Earth Venuses are concerned with getting stability and having something stable around them in the physical world. But it's not just any Earth Venus. We're talking about Capricorn Venus, big boss CEO energy. So they're not just concerned with getting a little bit of money. This is usually somebody concerned with trying to amass some sort of wealth or success, and even generational wealth. You could go as far as saying generational wealth. And you guys might be a little bit sick of hearing that, you know, you love money and you're all about materialistic things and obsessed, blah, 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 blah. But it's more, though, that somebody with a Venus in Capricorn understands the value that money can bring. They understand that having money behind you makes things a little bit easier. No, money doesn't buy you happiness. We know that. I mean, when it probably buy you a little bit of happiness, you know, but it's not going to buy you happiness forever. However, with money becomes power. We know that for a fact, don't we? If you've got big pockets, you can do big things. Now, money and power, these are very Capricorn-esque type things. And so they also understand that money can also give them a level of power. They also understand that money can also help in terms of status. Now, I'm not saying that they are big spenders and they splash out and they show off their money. No, it's not that type of energy, but they will spend on what they value. They work very hard, so they will spend their money on something that they value deeply. So whether that be having a nice home or a car or having holidays or well, holidays, vacations for my US people, because quite a lot of my audience is from the US. So I'm going to actively try and drop in some US slang in my videos, because I got this comment the other day saying, I enjoyed your video basically, but I couldn't understand everything that you were saying. So I'm going to try and adjust and drop in some US slang in my videos as we go. We are talking about Venus here, and Venus in relation to an Earth sign, and Earth is about stability and practical and having an income. It represents, you know, the career income houses in a chart, all the Earth signs do. And we're also talking about the Capricorn energy, so this is more the CEO type vibes. Venus is also a money indicator. So yes, you are going to have an attraction to being financially secure, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you're looking for a partner who's financially secure. So this is where you might have heard that people are like, oh, Venus in Capricorn, looking for someone that's got all this money. No, you just want someone that's financially responsible as you, ideally, if not better. Geez, if they could be even more financially responsible than you, that'll probably get your eyes. Your eyes would probably light up over that. Now, you've got your stuff together, guys. You've got your houses in order, your ducks are in a row. And so you need a partner that kind of has got that too. You don't want someone who's going to bring that side of you down. They can sometimes also look at love as an investment sort of thing, basically, and usually quite try and be as good as they can with their money, and like this is someone who's probably got a rainy day fund. What type of person they're usually attracted to? It's usually somebody that's kind of older or more mature or more established, or it could be that you're the older one, but usually not all the time, but some sort of age gap at least with the people. And you could also find in your lifetime, particularly when you were younger, that you attracted people that maybe weren't so serious and not so committed and just kind of latched on to where you were going in life because you've always had this sort of direction, and a sort of parental relationship may have occurred. And as you get older, once you've had your Saturn return, is probably when you find you can actually settle down with somebody and you have those more serious committed relationships on what you're actually looking for. And when you are settled down in a relationship with that person who truly does love you, who's committed to you, they're not going to want you to work so hard. They're going to want you to relax. They're going to try and stop you doing things for other people because they know that other people might just be trying to leech off you basically and try and just not appreciate and value you for everything that you bring to the table. And you'll probably attract those partners that can be quite protective as well of you in that area. Let's have a think of some of the qualities that they're looking for in somebody, because Venus in Capricorn does have quite high standards really when it comes to love. They really want a serious relationship that they can invest in. They don't want to waste their time. Like, you need to understand with this Venus placement, like wasting their time is like blasphemy. Don't do it. They really want commitment and dedication in a relationship, and somebody who understands their values, somebody who understands the importance of having boundaries, somebody who can be organised, who can be structured, who can be just as hardworking as you. So as I said earlier, you're not like carrying the weight of the relationship. Ideally, the sort of qualities you'd have if you could pick a partner, somebody that is on a path to accomplishing something, or work, at least they're trying to work on getting a promotion, for example, not someone who is complacent to sit in the same role for 10 years and not progress. No, that's not what you want, because you guys are looking to build and you want to take the relationship in a direction, and we're talking about someone that's got like a 5-year plan. So you like someone that's got their own goals also, but can also help you build on your goals. Now, Capricorn energy in general doesn't tend to really have much sympathy for people that can't help themselves. So they do like someone that can help themselves a little bit. And as I said, when you were younger, you may have fell into these kind of parental relationships where you were taking on a lot of the responsibility of the relationship for somebody, but particularly when you get older, it's not what you need, is it, guys? Let's be honest. And because Capricorn Venus does have this controlled side to them, this controlled element of their personality, they do prefer someone who is in control of themselves as well, and who's in control of their emotions particularly. Basically someone that can complement their status and, you know, not damage their image in any way, because Venus in Capricorn does have an awareness of how they're seen at the end of the day. And we are talking about power couple vibes here, even potentially someone who's really got ambitions for their relationships, to have that real power couple image that they give off to people, because it's the goat. This is the goat climbing to the top of a mountain. Have you seen what those mountain goats are doing? What the hell? And they're looking for this partner. It's like, can you climb to the top with me? Can you make it up here with me? Because I need someone that can stay up here with me. Because if you can't stay up here with me, when you fall, it's gonna hurt so much. It's gonna hurt so much once you've fell from reaching a certain height with somebody. And they also kind of need that situation whereby if something happened to them, if anything happened to them in any way, the other person, the partner, could pick up the pieces and provide and take care and support financially with the house, with the children, etc. Just give them that stability. That's what they need, because for as long as they can, that's what they will give in a relationship. That's what they will bring. So you don't need someone that's a distraction. You don't need someone that's messy and chaotic, and someone who has no self-control and no life plan, basically, and someone who's not looking to make you better. As I think I said earlier, if you can meet someone that's in an even better position in life than you are, then it's winner, winner, chicken dinner. When it comes to work, this is a more business-oriented person, or that you get work through your connections, or that you want to go into business with your partner, or you guys probably put your partner to work in some way, or prefer to work for an established company that's been around for like 100+ years, that are established, financially stable, or working for an older person or more wiser person, basically a corporate company. This is somebody who could also work with elite people, really, and elite members of society, powerful people in the government, secret services, might be going a bit far there, but you know what I mean. Somebody in those higher up places that has to have a level of authority, the police, the courts, those types of fields. Somebody with this energy is definitely built for this arena. Now, the last thing I think we should probably touch on, guys, for this video, and I bring it to an end, is secondary progressions, because for some of you, not all, your Venus will progress into Aquarius, and for some of you even into Pisces at some point. So have a look at your chart. Where are you at right now in terms of secondary progressions? Because we don't stay the same, do we? We change, we evolve as we get older. One of the techniques we can see that in astrology is through the art of secondary progressions. Secondary progressions are basically our own new insight and perspective of having a new sign. So let's say you've been Venus in Capricorn, now your Venus is in Aquarius, then you have loosened up in love, you're not so rigid, very unconventional, untraditional, like the love language changes. Just another important thing to look at. But I'm going to leave it there. If there was anything that I said that you liked or could relate to, then please drop me a like. And if you like my channel and my content, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to grow my channel here on YouTube. I have so much knowledge to share. Coming up in my next video, I'm going to do the breakdown of all the different sun sign combinations with this Venus placement. So if you want to check out a bit more about your personal sun sign, check out my next video. I'll see you then.